Greetings, beloved. I'm Dr. Felicia LaBoy, lead pastor and life coach here at the historic First United Methodist Church in downtown Elgin, Illinois, with another motivational moment from the Bible. These motivational moments are designed to help you take what you hear in church on Sunday, what you may learn in Sunday school, what you may even read during your private devotional time, to take those biblical concepts and to make them a part of your everyday life. This week, I want to pick up where I started yesterday in my sermon series, Mark chapter 7. And I want us to focus in on the idea. Who let the dogs out? I don't know what that was all about, but all kidding aside, I want to pick up on this idea not about who let the dogs out, but rather who let the dogs in. I know you all are saying, Pastor Felicia, what in the world are you talking about? I'm so glad you asked. In the Gospel of Mark and in Matthew, both writers record an interaction that Jesus has with a Syro-Phoenician woman. This woman comes to Jesus and she asks him to heal her daughter. And what Jesus says to her is really quite remarkable, right? I mean, Jesus basically says, he's like, look, we don't give the children's bread to dogs. I'm called to the children of Israel first. And then the woman makes the statement that you see here. She says, yeah, but even the dogs eat the crumbs from the children's table. And Jesus says to her, woman, your faith has been great. And so go on your way. I've healed your daughter. Now, if you just read that through and don't really think about it, you kind of take it as another miracle story, right? Someone comes to Jesus, they're in dire straits, they come and Jesus does what only he can do. But did you notice something else? Jesus called the woman a dog. Jesus called the woman a dog. Actually, he doesn't call her a dog. He calls her little girl a little dog. Now, I don't know about you, but if someone calls me a dog or my little girl a dog, and you all know the word that I'm thinking about, you call me that, we got a problem. And so a key question could be, one, why would Jesus even say such a thing? Well, as I explained yesterday, Jesus refers to the woman as a dog for two reasons. And no, it's not to humble her to see where she's at. No, 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 no. I want to suggest two things. One is that, Jesus is fully God and fully human, right? In the area that he is in, that area of Tyre, the people who were there, the Gentiles, the Syrophoenician people, the people who were Gentiles, regularly exploited the Jews. So in fact, they were taking food out of the mouth of Jews. Some commentators say that Jesus, in calling the woman a dog, was expressing his frustration and using a common vernacular about how is it that people are so bold and brazen to oppress others. Now, you always say, but Pastor Felicia, isn't Jesus loving and kind? Oh, yeah, he is. But if you read through the Gospels, Jesus calls people whitewashed sepulchres. He calls people vipers. He calls people all kind of names. Yeah, he does. And basically, I think we forget that Jesus is fully God and fully human. That means he's not God all the time. Well, he kind of is, but he's God limited by human frailties. It's why he's got to eat. It's why he's got to sleep. It's why he's got to be born. It's why he's got to grow up. Jesus gets frustrated. Now, that's no excuse, right? But I think we've got to at least acknowledge that Jesus gets frustrated by the things that happen. And I don't know about you, but it gives me some comfort in saying that Jesus gets frustrated, because that means that he can understand who I am. He can understand that I get frustrated. And regardless of all the good that I want to do, there are times that I really want to strangle somebody. I know I shouldn't say that as a pastor, but I'm telling you. That's a story for another day. But anyway, here's another point to consider. The writer of Mark is writing to a Jewish audience who is dealing with Gentiles. Gentiles who are engaging in practices that are oppressing them, that are taking more and more of the resources out of their region. And so the Jews are increasingly poor. And they're also experiencing the case that more Gentiles are coming to join their churches. Can you imagine that? That in the same space are the very people, or at least people who look like the people who are hurting you. And so I'm sure that in those communities, behind closed doors, after the kumbayas and the celebrations and all of that, that some Jewish folk, some Jewish church folk has some stuff to say about the Gentiles joining their church. Why can't they go to church over there? Why do they have to come over here? Why don't they take care of their own? Why don't they do what is right? How do they think God is going to accept them? And so some commentators suggest that the gospel writer writes this passage to let folks know that even Gentiles, even dogs, can come to Jesus just as they are. And if they do, like all of us, surrender, the woman comes to Jesus, she calls him Lord and bows at his feet and says, please heal my little girl. It lets both the Jews and the Gentiles in that story know that the grace of God, the mercy of God, the favor, the healing, the power of Jesus Christ is not limited to anyone. Now, what does that say to us? I think it says a whole lot, right? Because whether we want to admit it or not, all of us good church people have some folks that we think differently about. We have people that we've made assumptions about, right? And I don't care if you're a poor person making assumptions about people who are rich, or if you are a rich person who makes assumptions about people who are poor, or if you are a white person that makes assumptions about people who are black, or a Hispanic person that makes assumptions about people who are white. All of us, because of the dynamics in the world, have something to say when pressed about some other folks. We have unintentional biases, hidden biases. There's a great book. It's called The Hidden Bias of Good People, and there's a test you can take around that. So if you don't think you have any biases, I challenge you to go take that test. Anyway, the point is this, is that all of us are accepted by Jesus. All of us are called to the foot of his cross. All of us have the opportunity for salvation, for healing, for grace, for mercy. All of us. And all of us are required to engage in and to be brothers and sisters at the foot of the cross. See, beloved, you and I don't get to decide who Jesus invites to come to his table or who he invites to be a part of his kingdom. And whoever Jesus invites to be a part of his table and his kingdom, I can't engage in cancel culture with. I can't say, well, that's those folks. But yet Jesus calls me to do something really remarkable and not to do it in my own strength. In this passage about Jesus and the Syrophoenician woman, he invites me and he invites you to be open, to hear more from a stranger, to extend some hospitality by listening first to what they have to say before making snap judgments, to open up so that strangers might become friends. You still don't believe me? Beloved, if you look at the people that Jesus gathered, those 12 disciples, yeah, they were all Jews, but man, Peter was a zealot. That means he was a rebel. Matthew, tax collector. Rebels hated tax collectors a lot. And yet Jesus pulls the rebel and the tax collector together and brings them together at the foot of his cross. Beloved, you and I as God begins to open up our church even more, you and I are called to do two things. One is we are called to extend hospitality to the stranger. That's more than just welcoming someone. That is to listen, to engage, to befriend, to make a space where strangers, dare I say it, enemies, can learn how to be friends at the foot of Jesus' cross. And when we do so, Jesus, the Jew who had called her a dog, and the Gentile woman who came from an upper class of people who probably oppressed them, when we can be open and when we can come together, then great things can happen. The little woman's daughter got healed. I wonder how much in the world could be taken care of if those folks we don't like, those folks we look down on. Oh, you know you look down on some folks. I know, maybe not, but you know, think about it. Think about how you feel about people who live in neighborhoods that are poorer than yours or richer than yours, or people who speak a different language, or people who might be immigrant. All of us have some biases, all of us. And all of us have to learn to love those who Jesus has called to the foot of his cross. We have to learn to extend hospitality and make sure that we let folks know not only are all welcome, but that we are committed to being a family, not to bring people over to our way of doing things. That's colonialism. When to come in and to be a part of Jesus's family, you have to take on my culture, my ways. You have to like my music. You have to like the way that I do things. But to really be hospitable to those who God invites at the foot of his cross says that when they come, I understand that God is going to change something, that I'm going to grow too, that I'm going to learn something too, that I'm going to be extended and stretched, and what will be left over will be something the likes of which I've never seen before, but will be for God's good, for God's glory, my good, and will bring good into our little corner of the world so that others might come to know the grace, the healing, the mercy, the joy that we have found. Beloved, I pray that you would stick around for this song, All Are Welcome, and that you will ask God to reveal, who is it that you're calling a dog? Who is it that you have some bias against? And I want to challenge each of us to push out of our comfort zone. I'll give a great example that a former pastor of mine gave to our church. Our church was a place where we had people who had different political ideals, where we had people who had different cultural ideas, and lots of young people, lots of old people. We had people of color. We had all kinds of stuff. And for Lent, our pastor challenged us to invite someone that we really don't know, someone that we normally wouldn't talk to on a regular basis. Invite that person to go out for a meal, to have a cup of coffee, to do something so that you might get to know them better. It was the best thing that ever happened to our church. This week, beloved, I want to challenge you to invite someone that you don't know well and that you haven't even thought about, but invite someone different to come and to be with you and just to have a coffee, just to get to know one another better. Don't forget to stick around for the song. Beloved, I'm Dr. Felicia LaBoy, lead pastor and life coach here at the historic First United Methodist Church in downtown Elgin, Illinois, with another motivational moment from the Bible. God bless. I love you, and I'll see you soon.
All are welcome in this place. Behold love's amazing grace. All are welcome. All are welcome. Bring your hopes, bring your dreams. Mercy flows and love redeems. All are welcome. All belong. Welcome all the broken-hearted, all whose sorrow and despair despair. You are not alone, for you are God's own. Together we sing and we proclaim, all are welcome in this place. Behold love's amazing grace. All are welcome, all are welcome. Bring your hopes, bring your dreams. Mercy flows and love redeems. All are welcome, all belong. Welcome all who are forgotten, excluded and dignity denied. You are not alone, for you are God's own. Together we sing and we proclaim, all are welcome in this place. Behold love's amazing grace. All are welcome, all are welcome. Bring your hopes, bring your dreams. Mercy flows and love redeems. All are welcome, all belong. Welcome all who work for justice, bringing hope, charity and peace. You are not alone, for you are God's own. Together we sing and we proclaim, all are welcome in this place. Behold love's amazing grace. All are welcome, all are welcome. Bring your hopes, bring your dreams. Mercy flows and love redeems. All are welcome, all belong. All are welcome in this place. Behold love's amazing grace. All are welcome, all are welcome. Bring your hopes, bring your dreams. Mercy flows and love redeems. All are welcome, all belong. All are welcome in this place. Behold love's amazing grace. All are welcome, all are welcome. Bring your hopes, bring your dreams. Mercy flows and love redeems. All are welcome,